am more than breast cancer.
I am more than gastric cancer.
I am more than Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 3.
I am more than Lynch syndrome.
I am more than metastatic male breast cancer.
I'm more than PMDD.
I am more than diabetes.
I am more than lupus.
I am more than FAP.
Welcome to More Than a Diagnosis. I'm Den.
And I'm Jess. This podcast is about so much more than cancer, chronic illness, or the labels we've been given. It's about reclaiming our lives, finding community, and thriving in ways we never thought possible.
Whether you're a patient, a caregiver, or just someone curious about what it means to live beyond a diagnosis, we're so glad you're here. One of the hardest parts about being diagnosed isn't the illness itself, it's watching people you love slowly fade away.
That's so true. And so many times I've wondered, why do people do that? Is it because they're scared? Is it because they feel guilty? Is it because they don't want to watch us being sick? I don't know. I feel like maybe a lot of times it's not knowing what to say. I don't know. Have you experienced that since you got sick? People fading away?
Unfortunately, I have. And it's so painful. It stings.
Yeah.
My experience, I'll go with the story about some of my coworkers, not all of them, some of them. Mm-hmm. At the very beginning of my diagnosis, they were so present and texting, messaging, very involved, wanting to know updates about my condition. So sorry, we miss you, and just overall encouraging and supportive.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is there was a time limit to that. I didn't know that people would change.
Yeah.
It's almost as if I was sick for too long and somehow I hit my maximum limit of support. It really does feel that way. I know it sounds silly, but
no,
that's how
true.
it felt.
Yeah.
And, now to this day, it's still awkward.
Yeah, for sure. I know that feeling of the slow fade away. Right? Where it's they're there, they're checking on you, and then suddenly it's you hear from them less and less, and you're like, where'd they go? Hello?
Hello?
Anybody there? Exactly. Anybody out there? But also, I don't know if you've
Exactly.
experienced this, but I know that after I was diagnosed, that there were people that I had a feeling that would show up for me. I assumed that they would be checking on me all the time, that they would be calling or texting, and I hardly heard from them at all.
Yep.
And I was like, what is happening? Why am I not hearing from this person that I thought that for sure that they would be there for me? But then on the flip side, I had people come kind of from out of nowhere and show up for me that I did not expect them to show up in the ways that they showed up. Literally constantly checking on me, always calling or sending a text, with no expectations from them. And it was surprising. It was really surprising the way
I had a similar experience as well.
Yeah.
People that I least expected to really be there for me and be supportive and involved were the ones who actually showed up.
Yeah.
And I'm ever so grateful for those people.
Absolutely.
Because it was a happy surprise.
Yes. And I feel like those are the people that it's almost okay, I know who I can count on. Because sometimes it feels like when you're going through something like this that you don't really know the people that you can count on, and you don't know when your friends are gonna disappear or who you thought were your friends,
Yeah.
because people just be ghosted. So today we're gonna break down why this happens and how it feels and what we can do about it. And we're both nerdy, which I love.
Me too.
We're always talking about psychology stuff. And so I think that we can talk about different psychological reasons why people ghost us when we've gotten sick. The first one that I thought of was the fear of facing their own mortality or their discomfort with illness. Because obviously, I feel like everyone knows somebody who's died from cancer, right? Like, and if you have had someone who's close to you who has died from cancer, then it's like you probably just want to like not be around somebody who has cancer, right? Because it's going to bring up those feelings of fear and worry and all these like old emotions that you had from experiencing that death, you know? And so I think that sometimes maybe people slowly bow out because they're scared that you might not make it. I don't know.
Or even I feel like the fear of facing mortality, not just our mortality, but their own.
Yeah.
A lot of people really fear death.
Yeah.
Everything that comes along with death.
Yeah.
And so if you think about it, it's almost as if they're watching us and in the back of their mind thinking, is this going to happen to me? Is this what it's like?
Yes.
And so they have to process their own feelings, but that is difficult to do. Not everyone is able to just process their feelings right away and snap out of it and then, hey, so how are you doing?
Yeah, that's
You know, there's
so
a lot more
true.
that goes into it, I think.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's something that I tend to forget, but then when it calls back to me, it just makes so much sense. Like, we're as humans such like selfish individuals in some ways, where when we are thinking about somebody like having cancer, like you said, we're thinking about ourselves. Like, oh, that could be me, you know?
It's only normal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
really
And that's true. It's kind of interesting to think about the fear of mortality. I feel like that's a whole episode of its own.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like jotting down over here, like fear of mortality. Like,
I was
chicken
like,
scratch over here.
well, that's why I was like kind of slow there for a second with my thoughts, because I was just thinking, wow, there's so much that I could say about this, but this is not what this episode is about.
No, it's not. No. And you know, I think another reason behind it could be just not knowing what to say. I mean, I like to talk. A lot of times that's not my issue. It's the opposite, you know? But I can only imagine someone just looking at you and thinking, well, what do I say to someone who just got diagnosed with breast cancer?
Yeah.
Like, there's just absolutely nothing I could possibly say.
Yeah.
And what if I say the wrong thing?
Totally.
Like, what is the right thing? What is the wrong thing? And how do I know which one to...
Yeah. You know what's
burst
funny
out
is that
and
even
say?
though I've had cancer and now I'm dealing with a chronic illness, I still have times where I will have somebody reach out to me who's just been diagnosed or who's going through a hard time with chronic illness, and I have to stop and be like, what do I say?
Yeah.
And then I have to be like, okay, wait, what would I want someone to say to me?
Yes.
But even still, there is that like sometimes like a hesitation of like, okay, I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But it's saying something, right?
Of course,
because
if you're
the silence
pausing-
is worse, I feel.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I feel like it's best to just say, I really don't know what to say.
Yes.
Just be honest, you
Yes,
know, but
yes.
that's, you know, we'll talk about that part later.
Yes.
But it's that
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, that's so
You
true.
know?
I think another thing is that you have like people can have a lot of guilt because if they don't reach out to you right away, then time passes, and so then more time passes, and then more time passes, and they're like, I should have reached out sooner, and so then they just start, that's like avoidance. And that happened to me when I was going through cancer treatments. I had a friend, actually had two friends, who they reached out to me like months after and on separate occasions, and they were both like, you know, I just didn't know what to say, and you know, and then time kept passing, and then I just felt bad and I felt really guilty, and I'm like, it's okay, like, you know, and which is hard because as the person who is unwell, that puts pressure on us
Absolutely.
to then make them feel okay.
Yes, and that's my problem. We're the ones dealing with the illness, and it's hard, and it's so much to process and actually physically and emotionally go through, and then we're the ones making them feel better. Like,
I
that
know.
pressure is a lot.
It is. It
You
is.
know?
And so if I would say, if you're listening to this and you have someone in your life who's been diagnosed, just reach out. Like, even if you don't know what to say, just
Say
reach
that.
out. Just say, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, but I'm here.
Yes.
I love you. I'm thinking about you.
Yes, that goes a long way.
Yes.
It really does.
Yes.
Because then I don't feel like I've just been kicked to the curb. And
Yep. It's so true. It's so, so true.
And the other thing I was thinking about is, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Like, in my case, with my coworkers, certain of them, I, you know, was there for years, and we got really close, and at the beginning, they were very involved.
Yeah.
But here we are, 6 years later.
Yeah.
And I'm not there. I've missed out on so many different events, like COVID. And, you know, I missed out on what it was being a nurse during those hard times. And so, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons, but I'm no longer in their mind. I've been gone for so many years that she's fine. Why do I need to check up on her? It's weird now. It's been so long.
Yeah. That I think that out of sight, out of mind is so real, because I have been heavily online and social media for a long time. And there was a time, I think it was in 2021, where I got off of Instagram, and there were a lot of people that I had developed relationships with. Like, we'd exchange phone numbers, we're friends, you know, even if we hadn't met in person in real life. Like, we checked on each other, we had a lot in common. And when I got off of Instagram, it was like crickets. And then, of course, you know, kind of stepping back in to like let our family and friends know that I had cancer, some people would like crawl out of the woodworks and be like, send their quick little condolences. I see you, you know, I'm sorry you're going through this, and then disappear again.
Exactly.
And so it's almost like, why did you even bother coming back?
Yeah, well, you know, it almost seems like out of sight, out of mind. Literally, you're not here, so it gives me a pass to not have to reach out, because I'm not interacting with you on the daily. We no longer have a relationship because I've been missing in action.
Yep.
And so, it's wrong.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like there are probably, what did we come up with? 5 different types of disappearing friends?
Yeah.
Because, you know,
there may be more.
There probably are more. And if you're listening and you think of more that we didn't think of, please let us know, because we'll add them to the list.
Yes.
So the first type of disappearing friend that we have is the fadeaway, where they gradually stop responding. And I feel like your stories of, you know, your coworkers who were your friends are the perfect example of the fadeaway.
Absolutely.
Because they're like there in the beginning, and then they're just kind of like less and less.
Yes, and it's gradual. It's not suddenly. It's very gradual, and oftentimes can be overlooked and missed. But it happens because it's slowly happening.
Yep. It really does. But then it's like, it's almost like it hurts more because it's happening so slowly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's like pulling the Band-Aid off super slow.
Yeah, it is. It's very painful. It stings. I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't care.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, I started in 2008.
Yeah,
and
that's
you build
a long
relationship.
time.
It's a work friendship that becomes very much a real friendship.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's people I see more than some of my other friends.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
That's so true.
And I don't think people realize that.
Yeah, definitely not.
And then you, of course, have those who ghost.
Oh,
Bam! Vanish immediately. 100% out.
Yep.
Good luck. Not even.
They just ripped the Band-Aid right off. They were like, I'm out. Peace. Yeah. Like, nice knowing you.
Nice knowing you. Hey!
Literally. So true.
Right.
Definitely have some ghosts in my life, and they can just stay ghosts now, you know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think the next one is the excuse maker, right?
Oh.
They're always so busy. Like, oh, I'm
Yes,
so
and it
sorry I
starts
haven't
off that
called.
way.
I'm so sorry I haven't called. I've been so busy with work. Oh, I'm so sorry I haven't come by. I really want to see you. But you know, the
Yes.
kids have this and this going on.
Yes.
Like, you
And we
know,
know
we're all
how long
busy.
we are.
But you
And
know
how
what?
long?
We do what we want with our time at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And how long does it really take to send a
Yeah.
tiny text?
Yes.
You don't even have to respond right away.
Right?
You know, it can sit there, but
Yep.
eventually you should
Or
reach
you know
out.
what the other excuse that I've heard a lot is, I didn't want to bother you.
Right, and it puts it on me or
Again.
you, right?
Again.
Like,
Right?
okay, because I'm super busy, right?
Yes. You're
Dealing
like,
with-
no, I'm sitting around staring at the wall, crying my eyes out because I feel like shit. And where were you? Oh, you were busy. Oh,
yeah.
okay. I'm sorry. You were so busy.
Thanks a lot for putting it on me
Right?
as I'm battling these illnesses.
As if it's up to us to reach out to them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you're the sick friend, like, it shouldn't be on you to have to be the one to reach out. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And then this one's a good one. The
Uh-oh.
toxic positivity
Gosh.
friend that will only engage if you're quote unquote being positive. Now
No.
let's talk about this.
Gosh. Like, you know, just keep your head up. Keep
Yes.
going. Like, okay, yeah, because I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't really have a choice.
You're so strong. You're gonna get through this. You got this. Go, go, go.
And it's not that, like, we don't want positive encouragement, but I feel like it's those times when we're having a hard day and we're just expressing something that is difficult for us, and the automatic response is, well, you know, you just got to stay positive. Instead of being like, you're so right. This is really hard. I
Yes.
see you. You're doing a good job. Like, you can still be positive without being toxically positive.
Yes.
I think there's a
You know,
difference.
it is a big difference because we really just want to be seen and heard. And by being toxically positive, that's taking away
Yep.
from us being seen, is the way I see it.
Yep.
You know, it's just kind of like, get over it. Or just keep going. You got this. Even though it's hard, just keep going.
Yep.
Well, easy for you to say, but can we just take a moment and talk about how much this sucks?
Yes. And how much we just need a minute sometimes. Sometimes we just need to hit that pause button and just say, this sucks. And we need somebody to be there to be like, yeah, you're right. It does suck. But you know what? We're going to get through it. And I'm here for you. I'm going to hold your hand through it. And it makes a difference.
Big difference.
Okay. The last one is the one that irks me so much.
Same.
Because
This is a hard one.
it's happened to me and it doesn't feel good.
No.
And it makes me want to say not nice things.
Yes.
But the
Same.
reappearing act. The friend who comes back after treatment is over or after the crisis seems to have passed. And suddenly they're like, hey, how are you doing? Like, because they see that, in my case, you know, they see I'm done with chemo. And so then they're like, okay, now we can just get back to the way things were.
Like, since your life is no longer in danger and you're not dying, hey, how about we be friends again?
Right?
What's up, girl? How you doing?
Yeah, no.
Like nothing happened.
No. No, it doesn't work like that. And, you
No.
know, it's, you know, I've thought about it a lot and I've taken into account the fact that, you know, people have fear of their own mortality. People don't know what to say. It doesn't mean that they don't love us. Like, I get that. But at the same time, like, we have gone through something so hard and so life-changing and so intense that it is really challenging to then let those people back in our lives, especially if they held a larger space. They were somebody who was really close to us, and then they weren't there the way that we needed them to be there for us, to then let them back into our lives in the same capacity that they were there before.
Absolutely. And I think the other part of this is we're not the same people we were when we first got diagnosed.
Facts.
You know, whether you like it or not, whether you accept the changes or not, changes will occur. And I feel like more often than not, at the end of the day, we're not going to want to accept those people because we're not those same people we were. And we may not even have as much in common anymore. Because we're different versions of ourselves.
So
we may
true.
not click anymore. We may not have the same views about life and everything that goes with it.
Because that evolves for us with all the things that we're going through. And they haven't been there for that. And so when they reappear, they expect us to be the same person, and we're just not. We're not at all. We're not.
And I feel like that's when you realize that maybe you've outgrown that person. And I don't mean that in a bad way.
There's a lot of grief there with that.
It's, which is why I think this is the most painful one.
Yes.
It stings
really
the
is.
most, at least for me and my experience.
Same.
Yeah. So now let's talk about how to cope and what to do if we're faced with a friend that's ghosted us.
Okay,
now,
let's talk about it.
This is interesting because I am definitely a work in progress. I'm actively still working on this.
I think we're working through this while we're talking about it.
Yes, we are.
Obviously.
Yes, and this is a lot easier said than done, but we definitely want to set and manage expectations.
Yeah.
This is going to happen. Let's just face it. Not everyone is equipped to handle someone who's ill. You know?
So true.
And I think at the end of the day, it speaks to who they are, not who I am. And that's something I really want to drill. And I'm working on ingraining this in my brain, but it's not about me. It says more about them and what they're not able to handle or deal with or just see. Because for whatever reason, they either love us and it hurts them so much that they're seeing us go through this. So I'm going to step away because I can't stand to see you so ill. That doesn't make it okay.
No.
At all. But it speaks to who they are and how emotionally incapable they are of actually processing, facing the music, and just being there.
Yeah. I feel like when we do that, it actually, and when we view it that way, it actually does take the pressure off of us. Because then we know it's not about us. It's about them. It's about what they can't handle. It's about what they can't process. And I can't do anything about that. I can't help the fact that I got cancer. I can't help the fact that now I'm dealing with a chronic illness and I'm not myself anymore or who they knew me to be. This is who I am now. For now, this is what my life is. Like, I can't do anything about it. And if they can't accept that, I can't really help them. With that.
You can't. And really the only control we have is over ourselves. I can't control how they act, how they behave, what they say, but I can control my reaction.
Absolutely.
And by controlling my reaction, I choose to shift my energy, my perspective, and focus on those who are there for me.
Absolutely.
You know, those who I least expected to be there, supporting me, cheering me on. Because
100%.
Those people right there are gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think another thing that we can do and how we can cope is feeling like, is it worth it to reach out to them? Is it worth it for me to put the energy into reaching out and trying to bridge this divide that they created? Or do I just need to accept their distance and move on? And this one's challenging because I feel like when people are pulling away, do I have the energy and effort to put in to trying to maintain this relationship? And I think sadly, sometimes when things like this happen, whether it's illness or trauma or whatever it is, when people pull away, I feel like it tells you who they really are. And also, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but there are times where you have these friends in your life where you text them, you call them, you make the plans, you're putting in all this energy and effort. And then in this case, we get sick or we have some major trauma happen in our lives and we don't have the capacity to reach out anymore, and then we don't hear from them, it's almost like, was it always this way?
Was it one-sided this whole time and I just didn't see it because I cared so much about that person? And I thought that person had so much significance in my life that maybe I overlooked it. Yeah.
Which that one is hard. That one hurts a lot because then you're like, okay, so was this what I thought it was? Or did I conflate this in my mind? So I think there's a lot that goes into deciding if it's worth it to try to reach out. And then I feel like sometimes when we do reach out and we put out that olive branch or whatever, and there's not a lot of reciprocation, then I feel like that's the answer and that's the closure that we need. And it's not easy and it's hard to accept that because, you know, like you said, this person that you thought had a huger place in your life and then now not so much, that hurts, you know? That super hurts. But I think that for me, going through my diagnosis and sharing on TikTok, I've found support in the most unexpected places, and the community that we have is just amazing.
Absolutely.
And I say it all the time, but like, I don't know where I would be without the community that we have from TikTok. And I know that sounds crazy, but like, these people have become genuine, like, true friends of mine that will be friends for the rest of our lives. And I feel like in a way we're kind of trauma bonded.
Of course.
But
that's a big part of it.
But on the other side of it, like, we share things with each other that are not sickness related, that aren't anything to do with the things that we've been through. But there's just this like deep knowing that we have so much in common. And so I think that sometimes it's about focusing our energy on the people who have decided to show up for us and the relationships that we have been able to maintain on the other side of all of this.
I also think that there's power in letting go.
Yeah.
If that person wasn't there for us, we get to decide whether we want to let them back into our lives or not. It's ultimately our own decision. And I think, at least for me, I'm going to protect my peace at all costs.
Absolutely.
Because we fought tooth and nail to get where we are. And to let that back in, which may not be beneficial for our lives and overall health. No.
Absolutely.
We get to choose. The decision is ours. And it's okay to let go.
Absolutely. It
as
really
painful
is.
as it is, but it's okay.
Yeah. I guess I just want anybody who's listening today, if you have gone through a major medical diagnosis, I am more than certain that you can probably relate to this, even if you had the most supportive community and friends and family around you. I think on some level, we all experience this in one way or another. And it hurts, but you're definitely not alone, not in the slightest.
And some friendships just won't survive the illnesses we go through. It's just a fact, and a fact that is extremely painful and stings to the deepest parts of our soul.
It sure does.
You know, but if we focus on the friendships that have come into our lives because of an illness, or friendships we least expected to be supportive, if we focus on those, I mean, those hearts and friends are worth gold.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I would love it if you're listening today and you have gone through this before, if you would share your experience with us. Have you lost friends throughout your diagnosis? How have you dealt with that, and what has that felt like for you? Because what we know is that when you have someone who can relate to what you're going through, there's just nothing like being seen and not having to explain yourself and just being able to say the thing and somebody saying, me too. And so we would love it if you would connect with us and share your stories with us. And we hope that in what we shared today helps you to feel less alone.
Thanks for joining us on More Than a Diagnosis. We hope today's conversation left you feeling seen, heard, and maybe even a little more connected.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who might need it.
And if you're looking for a place to connect with others who truly get it, join our support circle at morethanadiagnosis.org, where we will continue this conversation. It's free, it's welcoming, and it's built for you.
Because no one should have to navigate this alone.
Until next time,
keep living, keep growing, and remember,
you are more than a diagnosis.